Hello everyone, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so let's examine our breasts. You can start by looking at your breasts in the mirror. See if you notice any skin changes, dimpling, or discoloration. Try repositioning your arms to see if that leads to any changes. For the physical exam, put your arm over your head and start feeling with 3 fingers. Remember to do it in a regular pattern so you know that every part of the breast tissue is felt. You can do this in either a circular motion, a vertical motion, or a horizontal motion. It's important to do this often, at least once a month, because then you know how they usually feel and it's easier to notice any irregularities. You can do the physical exam either in front of a mirror, in the shower, or lying down. At the end, squeeze around your nipple to see if there's any discharge or fluid. Now repeat on the other side. If you notice any changes, report to a medical professional.
That video and it started playing. I was like, wait a second, that was a video we were supposed to play a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, what the heck, it's a good video. Oh my god. Oh, hello everybody.
Hi.
We're doing a little breast cancer exam video. I actually hit the wrong button.
Oops. You can never have
gosh.
too many breast cancer awareness videos.
No. And hey, I figured it was, it's informational, stuff we all need to hear.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So Sheila, you just got home early this morning. Have you recuperated at all?
Very little. Very little. I got my suitcase unpacked, so.
Hey, that's something.
Well, that's a good thing.
Better than nothing.
Yes. Yes. And then Catherine was over there saying how cold it is. And then Kathy chimed in and goes, oh, it's like 70 where I'm at.
Florida will be getting cold before too long.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Florida never gets too cold.
We used to go, growing up, we'd go on vacation to Florida in November because it was so warm there, and we'd go to Disney and wear shorts because it, like the middle of November, because it was so cold here and not so cold there.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go below Orlando, you're pretty well gonna stay kind of warm and all, but I live up here in the upper Panhandle, and it does get cold.
I'll believe it when I see it. I think I don't know where Angie went.
Yeah, no, Angie, there was a comment made that Angie was freezing a little bit off and on.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's why she
come back.
Sorry, folks.
Oh, there she is.
I was trying to get my...
Well, maybe.
Oh, she froze again.
Oh, dear.
I think she said she's having problems with her Wi-Fi.
There she is.
Is the Wi-Fi on?
I'm going to step away for just a hot minute. I have to take a phone call.
Well, I know Mike is glad to have you home so he can start having his home cooked meals.
Yeah, instead of eating soup.
At least it wasn't top ramen or something like that.
No. It was actually chunky soup, but, soup.
Yeah. Hey, it works.
Well, maybe he's
Now
not
it's
making
my
you
turn
cook
to-
tonight.
Yeah, now it's my turn to come home and decompress and process everything that has, happened.
Yes, you've had an eventful week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough. Tuesday
And
and
we
Wednesday
send
was
out
very good.
virtual hugs to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna actually try to log in here on my laptop since I'm having connection issues. But for those of you guys that don't know, Sheila had to attend a funeral this week, and so she's actually just getting home early this morning, and just got home to Arizona. She was actually where I live in St. Louis. I was like, of course you come where I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me just. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to multitask here. So today we were going to be talking about bullying, specifically cyberbullying. But one of the things we talked about when we were talking about bullying. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My AirPod went out. But one of the things we talked about bullying is that, when we grew up, bullying was like on the schoolyard, people pointing at you, saying you're fat, saying you're ugly, you're mean. And it was horrible growing up. But now bullying is like a whole new format with social media and digital and online. And like Larry's favorite word is they're keyboard warriors. So, and it's awful sometimes. Let's see.
It is awful.
All right, I'm gonna go on a phone call with my girlfriend. So. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Especially when school bullying causes so much harm that sometimes the kids takes their own life.
Yes. Yes. And unfortunately, it's happened a lot.
And
Okay, sorry, guys.
it's sad when that happens because it's like, oh my God, it's heartbreaking.
Alrighty, thanks, Pat. All right, bye.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, can you guys see me at all?
Yeah,
Yo.
we can see.
Okay.
You're kind of robotic, though.
All right, hold on just a sec.
Sorry.
And she's gone.
No stress. Have you? Oh, okay. Better.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I switched to my
And you're not
iPad,
freezing.
And you're not frozen. Yay!
I switched to my iPad. I'm like, what is wrong with my phone? Oh, thank you, Cassandra. Cassandra was in the back letting me know. She's like, you keep freezing. I'm like, crap.
Oh no.
She says now she's better.
Yes. Thank you, Cassandra. You're the best. So the whole time you were gone, Kathy, I was like frozen.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I had to take that phone call. We had a minor family emergency today, and yeah.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
We need to have a Divas chat afterwards.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I definitely
My
need one.
face is all red.
All right. Okay, sorry, I had to turn off my volume there. I'm echoing. There we go.
I heard that.
I know. It's like I was on my phone and I was on my computer. So we were talking, Catherine, while you were gone a little bit about how when we were growing up, bullying was pretty much, the kids on the playground making fun of you. And it was awful. And especially, I think, during junior high and high school, you go home feeling like crap. But everybody could kind of understand what you're going through. Now our kids are having to go through online cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And like this year, Larry and I have really experienced it. And it's hard. And it's like,
It's hard.
Larry always says they're keyboard warriors because a lot of times it's just people behind the keyboard that have nothing better to do than to try to, make
Bring
us
you down.
salacious stuff and bring you down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I say this to Sheila and Kathy very often that I hate short hair, and this is driving me crazy. Like, I miss my long hair. And the reason for that is because I was bullied in high school because I had short hair. And
Oh,
people would
yeah.
tell me, "Oh, you look like a boy," and you're ugly. And I mean, it was awful. And I was traumatized by that. So now I'm like, please grow. Just please grow. And I'm getting there. I mean, this is a lot of hair compared to a month ago. So
Absolutely. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, Catherine's she's a breast cancer survivor. She had a very tough battle the last few years. And so, but her hair is growing back, and it's
yes,
huge because,
it's coming back.
yes, I mean, when I
These
first met
wings.
her, yes, when I first met her, she didn't have any hair. She had a little kerchief on that she wore all the time, and she was adorable. And now to see all the hair coming back, it's like, it's adorable. I love it. Oh. So, Kathy, we were talking a little bit ago, and I know that you have not experienced
Thank you, Becky.
cyberbullying per se, but
Right.
it was something that you also experienced growing up. I think all of us did. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And I mean, I think it affects all of us, especially even as adults.
It was because, I mean, I grew up, poor. So, you know, if my shoes were still making it from one year to the next,
Yeah.
I still wore the same shoes. If I didn't grow and I could still fit in the same clothes I wore the year before, that's what I went to school in the next year.
Yep.
And you go to school and you see everybody in new clothes, and then you see them make comments. Oh, well, that's what you wore last year. You didn't get nothing new. No, can't afford it.
No.
And you get made fun of, and even you think when you grow up all of that's going to stop. It doesn't stop. And now I'm overweight, so I've been, I was skinny growing up in school and all. But since I've got grown up, been made fun of the way I look, the way I dress, the way uh, my weight, my, and even working as a cashier, I wouldn't smile. And my manager stayed on me, Kathy, you got to smile, you got to smile. And I'm like, well, when I do smile, the customer stands there and makes fun of me.
Yeah.
And also, I don't smile. And then a lot of customers, of course, they didn't understand that. And they was like, oh, well, she's got an attitude. She was rude to me. And I'm like, all because I didn't smile?
Yeah.
And so it takes a toll on you because you get self-conscious and it wears you down.
It does. And I mean, I think what we've noticed over the few years, especially like, I'm going to use TikTok as an example. So a lot of people that have made it big on TikTok, we've seen a trend over the last 2 years where they tend to get bullied, online bullying, and it gets so bad that, they've either attempted suicide or they have committed suicide. And I think the biggest problem with bullying, whether it's online or in person or whatever, is a lot of times it's hard for you as that person to try to fight back against whatever horrible allegations that are being made about you. And it's awful. It's like you're fighting a losing battle. It's like no matter how much you say, I'm a good person, that's not true, I didn't do that, people always want to believe the drama. And that's where it's hard to fight.
It is, and especially even if I've had my sister, put me down for my weight. My brother-in-law has put me down countless of times and stood there and said, "Look how fat she is," and that hurt.
I imagine.
And it, of course, it caused fights between me and Chris because it made me feel like he didn't defend me. He didn't say anything, and his response is, "Oh, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You're beautiful to me. I don't care what he says," and I get that, but at the same time, it still hurts.
Well, yeah. And it puts him in a tough position because it's his family, and it's like, but I get it. He's your husband. You want him to be on your side and defending you, and it's tough. Well, I was gonna bring up a story that kind of made news last. It was actually almost a year ago, and it was a TikToker that a lot of us in the trucking community followed. Her name was Lady Driver 2.0, and she was pretty popular on TikTok. And it's been rumored, it's not 100% sure, but it's been rumored that she took her own life. And part of that, they were saying, was because she had really been bullied a lot by people online, and it was really getting to her. And she was like one of the first people that I heard where social media and cyberbullying, had gotten to that point. And I know I've heard about other teenagers and stuff like that where it's happened too. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of our friends that it's happened to, and it's hard to fight against those allegations. Catherine, you've had some problems with your son getting bullied too.
Yeah, so my son is an Asperger's kid, and so school was a challenge. It was just awful. And the most intense incident I can remember was in intermediate school. So like, I think it was 4th to 6th grade. And he had no support in the school. He had an emotional support teacher, but he wasn't great at his job. And the teacher, the emotional support teacher, the principal, some other guys, they had like this boy, it was almost like a men's club, and they just wouldn't help him. And I would go into the I'm going to forget the name of it now, IEP meetings, his individual education plan, because Jacob was on the spectrum. And they would just, how bad he was, that he didn't follow directions, that he didn't blah, blah, this, that, and the other thing. He was suspended 8 times one school year, and which by law is actually not legal. They can't do that. So after I got the 9th phone call, I said, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And I got there during drop off, and the principal was standing on the front steps of the school, and I had Jacob by the hand, and he was like, Mom, don't yell, Mom. And I'm like, no, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And it was almost like they were bullying him, but they covered it up. Oh, but we understand he's on the spectrum. The teacher went, without my permission, went ahead and told all the students in the class, well, Jacob's on the autism spectrum, so just be patient with him.
Wow, that wasn't her place to say
So
that.
that's the kind of stuff that was going on. He was being bullied by some other girl. Her dad was in prison, and she threatened to, quote, it's a prison term. Basically, he would stab him. She would push him up against the lockers all the time, and she choked him once. And I reported it to the school, and they're like, well, we don't like to say that. I'm like, what do you mean you don't like to say that? We don't like that word. And I'm like, well, but it is what it is. So I had Jacob by the hand, and I got up to the principal, and I said, you need to listen to me. Like Mama Bear came out, and he said, my son is autistic, and you guys have done nothing for him but suspend him for defending himself against bullying. I said, and I've had enough. I said, if you suspend him one more time, I will threaten a lawsuit. He is autistic. He is not stupid. He is not dumb, and he is not abnormal.
Right.
And the principal's eyes got, this big, and he backed up a step. And as I'm screaming at him, like I was screaming, the school psychologist is running. He's like, Miss Pennycoff. And I'm like, Mike, and I know the school psychologist. He's one of my sister's husband's friends. And he's like, Catherine, just come with me. Just come with me. And I'm like, no, I've had enough. I said, this is not right. And so I was well known at Danville. And I think I made my point. Now, Southern, where my daughter goes is just as bad. And I am so glad she's not in that school anymore. She goes to VOTEC, which is so much better for her. She's much happier because all the kids there are kind of the same. They're all kind of the misfit kids that were bullied. They all know that they're not maybe mainstream.
Right.
They're not the cheerleaders. They're not the football players, but they're artistic and they're creative and they're hands-on, and they're all the same. So she has more friends now than she has ever had.
That's good. And that's so important because, I mean, especially if they're on the spectrum or if there's issues, they want to feel normal. They don't want to feel like when the teacher told everybody that your son was on the spectrum, that's like singling him out in front of all of
like let's label Jacob today. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I was like, what?
You're like, my
I
kid
thought we were
doesn't have
trying
enough
to
to
not-
deal with. We're gonna put
Like,
a label on him.
I know, like what and everybody says, oh, we don't label kids anymore. Yes, absolutely they do.
They do.
Absolutely they do.
All the time.
Unbelievable. I was absolutely shocked.
Well, I was looking at like, because we're talking about bullying and cyberbullying and how it affects you, and so I was trying to go through some of the things, and of course the most obvious thing is low self-esteem. If you've got somebody who's online bad mouthing you or telling horrible stories about you that are not true and you have no way to defend yourself, or you're getting harassed in school, or you're getting harassed by text message, of course one of the biggest things is you start to develop low self-esteem. Both victims and the cyberbullying person usually both have the same problem where they both have a self-esteem issue. Mm-hmm. The other thing is if they're in school, like Catherine's kids, dropping grades because they can't deal with the harassment, and so they start to fail in school, and you'll start to see them having problems. Cassandra said you have to stand up to these schools sometimes. I have been there many times with my kids over them being bullied. Yeah. And then the other thing was, depression. So, if you're cyberbullied or your kid's cyberbullied or you're getting bullied, besides the low self-esteem, then you start to have the depression issues. I know personally people that have gone to the point of cutting themselves, or maybe overindulging in drugs or alcohol as an outlet to try to deal with that stuff. Let's see, and then of course suicidal inclinations, which we've seen a lot. If you go back and if you put into Google social media cyberbullying suicides, it's pretty shocking how many big time influencers, whether it was on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, have fallen victim to this because they were cyberbullied. It's so hard when you are wrongfully bullied to try to defend yourself, and sometimes that's how it affects people.
The other thing that I've come across that kind of ties in, it's not exactly bullying per se, but the TikTok challenges. I just read an article, it was from June, about teens jumping in front of moving trucks to see if they can get out of the way in time. And let's see, two teens have died already, including an 18-year-old and a 10-year-old. As many as 14 minors have been suspected of participating. It's called the Angel of Death Challenge.
Holy cow.
These TikTok challenges have consequences, and it's people that I don't know if they have all this time on their hands and don't know what else to do, but to get people to do what they're doing, like, I don't understand the mentality of it. But it's also like, I consider it cyberbullying, because you're basically brainwashing people to do these awful, awful, tragic things that end up causing somebody to die.
I mean, there was that one trend, a couple months ago, where people were filming themselves jumping on the back of a moving semi truck and riding on the bumper, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then it was a great TikTok video to put up, and I'm like, "So a 30-second TikTok video is worth your life?" So then we got warnings, be careful if you see teenagers; they may want to jump onto the back of your truck. I'm like,
it was outside on top of the great cabinet.
I don't get it.
Also, so just like, I think it was a couple years ago, up in my neck of the woods, a teenager actually committed suicide by jumping in front of a moving truck, because he was bullied for being gay. He was bullied in person and on social media, and he had hinted on his social media that he was going to kill himself, and nobody gave it any attention. And the truck driver actually was so traumatized he swore he'd never drive again.
Oh yeah.
And the young man was 17 or 16, somewhere around there. And the school district was just absolutely, like, they were just shocked and devastated, and they couldn't understand. And I was like, how do you not understand? All you had to do was read his social media posts, and I mean, it was really tragic. And now they have this whole bullying policy. There's a lot of attention to it in that school district, and I'm really glad that they did. I wish other school districts would follow their example.
Absolutely. Heidi made a really good point here. I wanted to bring up this comment, and she said they need to enforce the age on TikTok. Children do not belong on TikTok or social media where content is not to be seen fit for them. And I cannot agree more. I think that there's
Absolutely
an age limit. I've seen kids as young as 3 and 4 years old on there. Granted, the parents are the ones putting them on there, but they have their own TikTok accounts, and I just think that's ridiculous.
No.
And then Cassandra was saying that her oldest was also a victim of cyberbullying. And then Roxanne said kids can be influenced by their peers, and it's so true. It's so true.
I had that problem with Chloe.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Well, I was thinking today while I was driving today, in our world, the way it is now, things are so different. When you say you've got a lot of friends, a lot of times what you mean is you have a lot of online friends that you've never met in person, but they mean the world to you. Like you ladies, I've met Catherine, I've met Kathy, I haven't had a chance to meet Sheila yet, but you guys are like my tribe. You guys mean the world to me. So, and a lot of people have that. They have people that they may not have met them in person, but they mean the absolute world to them. And so then it's like you develop these friendships, online, virtually. And then when all these horrible things happen and blow up your little happy family, sometimes it's hard to deal with aftermath. And I know this happened to me. We've seen it happen to other friends of ours. And we've been victims. I can vouch that all of us have been victims. Of it.
Right. Yeah. And actually, to be perfectly honest, I didn't talk to Angie for a really long time because of a cyberbully, because she was, playing us both basically, and spreading lies about one to the other and vice versa. And I love Angie to death. And I was crushed when I heard what was quote being said. And same with her, she was absolutely devastated that I said all these things, but I didn't. And so it affects even adults. And like, I can tell you how hurtful it is when someone who you thought was your friend makes a video saying you're a fake breast cancer survivor. I mean, I don't wear this binder for fun, let me tell you.
Yep.
When she makes videos about your family, about your kids, about your fiance, it is. I was so crushed, and I had helped this woman. I had opened my home to her. I had tried to help her out of a quote terrible situation she was in, and she got mad at the whole reason she was mad at me was because I kicked her out of my house because she couldn't tell me she wouldn't get a job. She couldn't tell me when she was quote coming back from Indiana because she said she needed to go home. And I said, okay, well, should I expect you to come back? I don't know. Well, I would like to know because it's a big impact on my household.
Yeah.
My electric tripled when she was here because she never turned anything off. She was just
horrible to your daughter. I mean,
she was horrible to my daughter. She was horrible to Chloe. So yeah, it was. I didn't know what to do, and I think in hindsight, I wish I would have just ignored it. But I felt like I had to fight back. I felt like I had to defend my family. It still hurts me. The stuff that she said about Chloe, the stuff that she said about Jacob, and the stuff that she said about Ron. Like, okay, I can take a lot. Like,
yeah,
I've already probably heard it, but
it's different when they attack your kids and your
it's different. And if I don't defend, what kind of mom would that make me?
Yep. Well, if you remember, just a year ago, all of us went through this when we tried to help a person that was going through a domestic violence situation. All four of us, other people, got involved, and we helped financially, we helped emotionally for almost 2 weeks, and then that turned into a cyberbullying situation for all of us. that was a nightmare.
Yeah. And honestly, like, there's been so many, I can't even tell you. Like, it's just been awful, and I feel so bad for the group of us on here because a lot of friendships were ruined because of somebody bullying some person, and they're like the toxicity of some of the people that we've come across in the Divas is just, and I don't understand it because I truly love the group. I love the Divas, and I love what we are trying to do in this group. Exactly right, Diane. Like,
exactly, Diane.
Trust people. It's caused me to question, myself. Like, am I too nice? But that's my personality. Angie, you know that.
Yeah, we're very similar.
We just want to help people. And
Sheila's our therapist.
Sheila's our sounding board. God love her. She should charge us.
And you've all been deprived of me for the last week, so
we love you, my dear. I'm glad you're home, but I'm sorry you had such a crappy week.
We were all worried about you.
Yes.
It was hard. Now it's my turn to decompress and to process everything now.
Yeah.
I think
take your time.
Yes.
One day at a time.
Most important thing, no matter who you are, is that you have a support system. I will tell you, a lot of you guys know what's happened to Larry and I over the last year, and I'll kind of touch base on it. We lost a couple of really good friends. Honestly, I have no idea why. I'll bring up the one name because Lori Underwood. She quit talking to me almost 9 months ago. I have tried to reach out to her. We've spoken with her husband, had great conversations, and yet I don't know. So it's like she's one of them, that says that I cyberbullied her and I was horrible to her. And the thing is, if anybody knows me, they know that I'm exactly the opposite, especially when it came to her and other people in my life. I tried to build everybody up. I try to make them feel positive. I try to make them feel better about themselves, because I think we are too hard on ourselves as women, that we don't need other people doing that to us too. So I think that's one of the hardest things is, when you deal with that kind of crap, having to defend yourself is hard. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's see.
Exactly, because I mean, before the
I know. Hold on just a second. We got it.
I know with
Sorry, we have
now
somebody
I have an
putting
echo.
up some crap. I'm trying to get it off the.
If you have a cyberbully,
I do have a cyberbully.
the guy you just whoever
Oh
you
yeah,
deleted.
the person I just had to delete. Diane Yasuyota said, "Angie, I know one person that exit on." Yeah, I do too. I think
Exactly, because
we all were in that situation at one point or another. And yes, Heidi, we are our biggest critic. I know for a fact when I first started talking, I'm going to use you as an example, Kathy. I love you. But when I first started talking with Kathy, she was so hard on herself. And it used to drive me absolutely bonkers because we, Sheila, me, Catherine, everybody saw what an amazing person she was and how kind she was and how kind-hearted she was. But she apologized for everything and she was so hard on herself. So yes, I think we as women are the worst critics for ourselves. We're just awful.
I know before the Trucker Safety Divas, I was closed up, but
I can't hear anybody.
I
You
know
guys
after
hear me?
being in the
Barely.
Trucker Safety Divas, did we lose Angie? Yeah, we lost Angie.
We lost Angie too. And Catherine just said StreamYard quit on her.
Uh-oh.
And it won't come back. She's not sure it won't come back. She's a circle. Spin. Catherine's a circle. Spin. There she is.
StreamYard quit on my laptop for some reason, just froze up and it won't reload. So here I am.
On your phone.
On my phone, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know since
hear
being
you.
in the Trucker Safety Divas the first time around, it helped me to open up.
For sure.
And, I don't know.
Kathy, your self-confidence has blossomed since you've been in the Divas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of you.
And, it's like, and then when a whole bunch of stuff went down and, and I was removed and everything else. I mean, that was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. I mean, I cried for days.
So I need to address that, and I'm going to address it publicly because it was my fault. So I'm going to address this because everybody's heard the rumors, everybody's heard what's going on, and I'm just going to take one for the team. So in a nutshell, there was a person amongst us in the Divas, two, that was causing a lot of drama. They were going from one person and saying one story and going to another person and saying another story. So pretty much whatever benefited them at the time. We also had another person that didn't want anybody to get close to me. Nobody was allowed to call me. Nobody was allowed to text me.
I was very clearly told not to contact you.
Yeah, people were
and that you couldn't
not
have
to
any other
contact me.
friends.
Yes. So for the longest time, all my friends disappeared from me and I didn't know what the hell I did wrong.
Nothing.
And yeah, so
you didn't do anything.
No. So I wound up cutting ties with Catherine and Kathy and Sheila because we had two people in our Divas group that was stirring up crap. And unfortunately, it took us a few months to come back together and have a powwow and kind of sit down. And once you kind of sit down and start putting all the pieces together, you're like, holy crap.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
How
You're
about
like,
that?
okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what?
And I'm so glad Angie is back in my life. I
And
miss that.
Poor Sheila. Poor Sheila got kicked out for like no reason.
Nope.
And it was just like people, those persons were putting little bits and pieces in Angie's ears and basically causing a big divide among the admins. And it was, like I said, it affected me and Angie's friendship. We lost touch for a little while. And
Yeah.
when she messaged me to clear the air, I was so glad because I was like, no, never would I have said that ever.
Yeah.
And what I had heard was that she was tired of hearing about my breast cancer journey. And, she didn't want me talking about it anymore. And that's all I ever talked about and blah, blah, blah. And I should have known better because Angie, I know you would never tell me to not talk about it.
Nope.
Like I should have known better, but I didn't, because here's this person saying, well, everybody's tired of the breast cancer stuff.
Yep.
And that hurt me to the core because it was a really hard battle. I'm not going to lie. It was a really hard fight.
Oh yeah.
I was very scared. I didn't have the easy cancer and it was stage 3. So almost stage 4, which is terminal. So I was pretty scared. And, the Divas were my support. And then all of a sudden there's all this stuff going on in it. And Ron was like, you can't be part of that. So I stepped away because of my health. And
absolutely.
And then I got people were telling me different things. One person was telling me something about that Angie had said, and I was like, really? Oh. And so I didn't contact her because this is what I was being told. And I thought she was a friend, and turns out she wasn't. And I'm sorry that happened, and I'm sorry that I believed her, but it's in the past now, and we're back, and it's better.
Because
I
when
I
that
do have to.
happened,
Yeah. Go ahead, Kathy.
when that happened, and because I called Sheila and I'm like, okay, well, I've been removed, I've been kicked out, and Sheila could tell you I was crying, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but if this, it is what it is, so I'm just glad to move on. And then next thing I know, Monday, Sheila, does a video call with me and says, well, I've just been removed. And I'm like, what? Please tell me it wasn't my fault that I caused this. And I was like, oh my God, you should never been removed. You didn't do anything wrong either. And it's like, oh my God, but I am so glad we are all back together.
And I do have to say that, Kathy, I don't know how you put up with it because one of the people that we were referring to was downright awful to you and tried everything they possibly could to sabotage you for months. And I don't know how you kept your head above you and rose above it. I honest to God don't know how you did it. And my hat's off to you because I don't know if I could have kept my composure. She was awful.
Chris has a lot to do with that. Because I was with him out on the road at that time. And, he was here, he could tell you, I would cry and everything. And he was like, it's okay, baby. It's okay. You're better than this. Calm down, forget about it. Just, and without him, and basically, along with Sheila, she was my therapist as well. And, with them two and everything else, I think that's what kept me together. And because used to, if somebody did that to me, I would go off. And I've learned I don't need to be that person anymore.
Mhm.
And I'm not wanting to be that person anymore. And so Chris always tells me that, you take and take and take and take and take. And he says, I don't see how you do it. He says, but one of these days you're going to explode. And I'm like,
Kathy, you have the absolutely biggest heart I've ever
Oh my
met.
God. Yes.
Like you have, honestly, like Ron says it. He's like, she's got such a big heart. I'm like, I know. That's why I love her.
believe
You
me,
know,
when Sheila lost her uncle on Thanksgiving, it was like I told her, I'm when you get back home, I'm going. I'm going. I don't care. I'm driving out there. I am going. And Chris was kind of talking me out of it. you know, I understand his point, because he was like, well, I'm going to drive you. I'm like, no, you can't miss work. And I was like, I'll be okay. I'll get out there eventually. I might get lost, so it might take me longer to get there, but I'll get there. And his response was, with all this craziness going on in this world, he was like, baby, what happens if you stop at a convenience store or something to get gas, get something to drink, and somebody follows you and
Yeah.
something happens to you on your way? He says, that would kill me if I lost you like that. And so that was going through my head. I'm like, yeah, he's right. Because I was like, I'll take one of my boys with me. And he was like, baby, they're not strong enough to protect you. He said, I can't lose both. So I understood it
Yep.
and everything else. So I'm staying home. Even though my heart is wanting to be there with Sheila so bad, but I know she understands.
so
I
Roxanne's
do.
got a good comment. She said, if someone doesn't make you feel good about yourself, walk away. Your best friend can be your worst enemy.
That is
Oh, that's
I mean, that's
so
happened to me. I'm not going to lie.
rude.
How many
Well,
times have we all found that out?
I'm kind of
Yes.
going through that right now.
yes, you are. I know what
I
you're
really
talking
am
about.
kind of going
Yes,
through
you
that
are.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know,
Mhm.
it's just like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and this past week got this last week got
Oh,
even worse.
it was
Speak
awful. I
of
was
the
so mad on Sheila's
darn.
behalf. I was so angry for her and what she was having to deal with while she's trying to help with her uncle's funeral and going to the
Uncle's funeral.
funeral and spending time with her aunt and cousin and everything. And oh, I was so angry.
I know. I always want to reach out so bad. I was like, nope, 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 nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, nope.
Yep.
I kept
But
reading the
it took
comments.
a
I kept
lot of
reading her
strength not to
chats.
reach out.
I
What'd
was
you say,
reading
Sheila? I couldn't
comments.
hear you.
I really was. So, you know, but
Uh,
it's just been, rough. So,
yeah. Of all the weeks when you needed crap and drama going on in your life, this was not the week for it. No.
Heidi said it good. She says, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mhm.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is very, very true. Ugh. I will be honest with you. This is probably the first time in my adult life that I think Larry and I have been put underneath a microscope and received such scrutiny. And several of my family members and my close friends are like, the more your face is seen, the more you guys are recognized, the more people are going to try to put you
Tear you
down,
down.
make it tear me down. Yeah. But I tell you what, it has really affected me this year to the point that, well, you guys know, I've withdrawn from social media other than TikTok. I don't go on Facebook that much anymore. I really don't talk to people anymore. It's just kind of me and Larry in our own little bubble because I'm like so scared to be who I am without people
Right.
attacking us. I'm
Right.
just like, and I hate that because I'm a very social
Well,
person, and it's like,
and you know what? Like even Ron, was kind of devastated that all this happened, because he said to me, he's like, but we were friends. I met Larry and we were friends. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the barking dogs, guys. I don't
I'm
know what their
surprised mine
problem is.
aren't.
I don't know what their problem is tonight. But he just got a bath. But anyway, like, it affects others. It's not just affecting that person. It may
Oh,
affect
step on the-
other people. And I think you're probably right, Heidi. Like, at the basis of it, she said, I believe all this is due to jealousy. And I think that's absolutely true. People are jealous. I know that was the case with Lori. And I know she told me flat out, she told me she shouldn't have too many friends. It's bad for her, and overwhelming, and like all these lies. And she actually flat out told me, after I spent the day with you, that was when she told me that I can't be friends with you because you have too many already.
I tell you what, I am so grateful to you guys and the other people that have come to me and told me the exact same thing. Because,
really?
oh yeah,
Oh my God.
It's not just you three. I have been told this by many, many people, that
Oh
I
my
was not
God.
allowed to have friends, and I think that's the saddest thing I've ever heard. And
Yeah.
and to this day, she's still posting crap about me. And the thing is, I would understand it if you have the courage to come talk to me one-on-one as adults. You could call me. My number's never changed. You could
Nope.
text me. You can Facebook Messenger me. I have tried to reach out to her. Larry's tried to reach out to her. We've talked to James. We've had a great conversation with James. But if you're going to go on social media and badmouth Larry and I and keep doing it over and over again, saying that I'm bullying you, when everybody and their mother knows that I tried to tell you what a wonderful person you were and how beautiful you were, you can only do so much. But
Right.
it bugs the crap out of me that she had to be my one and only friend and nobody else could be my friend. And Kathy got treated the worst out of anybody.
Yes.
Because she knew Kathy and I were getting close, and I don't like people like that. I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Because Chris felt so honored to be brought into the dude trucking show. And he has recently told me, he's like, I missed that.
Larry does too. And unfortunately, Larry is just, I love my husband to pieces, but this has affected him as much as it's affected me, because he misses the guy's show so badly. And he misses James terribly bad. Every time he watches football, every Sunday. But it's like one of those things where he's scared to open up again to other guys because he's afraid people are going to start talking trash about us.
Larry, we love you.
I think we should get Ron and Larry and Chris back together.
Yes, I do too.
I will definitely talk to Ron. I've been considering creating a private Facebook account for him where nobody can find him, but he can find others. I have my account set, so that way he can be part of all of the trucker stuff. I mean, he's not.
I think that's a great idea.
And that way he could, they could do their trucker guy thing.
Yeah, Chris still has Facebook.
I mean, he doesn't watch football. He watches basketball, but
Well, and the thing is, all three of them are so much alike. They all get along. I think it'd be a great idea.
Yeah, he misses Larry.
Yes.
He does.
Diane Yosak said, wait until your friend starts calling the police on you. Yes, Heidi, they are jealous. And I know exactly what Diane is talking about.
I know.
So, we all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
We love you, Diane. Just know that.
Yes, we do.
Cassandra said, that's why I only have less than maybe 8 friends I talk to, because people don't want drama in their lives. Not in my household, drama free. That's why we have such a close-knit group of people that we even talk to, because of that right there. And Cassandra's exactly right.
Yep.
I mean, that was the first thing Cassandra said to me when I met her. She's like, I can't stand drama.
Right, and I can't either. And I mean, Cassandra's right. I mean, I think I can just count on my hand how many friends I have.
Yep.
And I have a friend that's down the street. You know, we grew up together, kindergarten on up. And I'm not close to her as I am with Catherine and Sheila and everything. It's, you know, they know more about me than her because she doesn't want to really talk to me. And
Yeah.
because she always, you know, I love her to death, but she's always thought that, you know, she's got to have everything better than everybody else. And it's like, I'm not like that. I'm sorry. What you see is what you get.
Yep.
So I know we're getting to the end of the show here. I just wanted to just really remind the audience there are actually no federal laws for bullying or cyberbullying. The states, they let the states kind of decide what should be and shouldn't be. The majority of the United States have basically left it up to the schools. Like, the schools have to have a policy in place. But that, you know, again, like I said, they don't always enforce the policies because they don't like to use the word bullying. So the only way to really battle that, and I am a big proponent of this, I do this, I've written so many letters to my constituents. They probably know me by name, but write to your senator, write to your governor, write to whoever you can, because it's the only way to battle bullying, really. I don't know. I mean, I have tried with the schools and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to acknowledge that bullying happens in their schools.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate and it leads to tragedy. So I think, you know, if you are like me and like to write to your people. That's the only way I know of to change things.
Absolutely. Tara's got a good comment, and I agree. She said, too much drama in this day and time, and it sucks. I stay friend-free. I have my adult children. Unfortunately, Tara, we can definitely relate. And it's true. Everybody's got so much going on in our own damn lives. Why would you need the extra added drama to it? We're too old for that crap.
Yeah.
I know I am.
There's people out that thrive on drama.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
They thrive,
oh yeah.
and they're not happy unless they're causing it.
Yep. Heidi said, I have deleted my TikTok account for that very reason and redid my account for cyberbullying. Yeah, I've had a lot of cyberbullying on TikTok too. For the most part, TikTok's been pretty wonderful, but you do get those trolls out there that are pretty awful. And then Roxanne said, what about homeschooling? And I know a lot of people do the homeschooling, and it's a great option for some people, but then you take out the social aspect that a lot of those kids crave and need. And so I think, like what Catherine said, there needs to be better laws in place, not only to protect our children, but also to protect adults too, because, you know, bullying is bullying no matter what form it's in, and you should be able to protect your children and yourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Heidi said some of them act like children.
Well, you're not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You're
not wrong. It is unfortunate, and it's hard, especially as adults, because, you know, you're expected to handle it.
Yep.
And how do you handle the haters, right? Like, we've had a lot of haters and on this platform, and I think, you know, hindsight's 2020, and I think what I've learned is to just ignore it, to turn a blind eye, because it just feeds into what they want. They want that drama. They want everyone to be all up in arms. And I think for
At
me,
each other's throats.
well, yeah, exactly. And so for me, just ignore it and move on, because it's not worth your time or your energy or your happiness. It's not.
Cassandra had a good point. She said, my kids did want to homeschool because of the school system for not giving a crap. I hate that. It's Cassandra's got girls. Yeah, they don't. I know, it's so frustrating. And then you as a parent, it's frustrating because, you feel helpless. What can you do? There's really, and especially when it comes to online bullying, there's really not a whole lot you can do to protect your kids anymore. And unfortunately, once it's online, it never goes away. It never goes away. It's always out there. Somebody can dig it up. Somebody can find it. And it's horrible what our kids go through. It's, I don't know, so frustrating.
Yeah, because once you get into 10th grade or something, when the prom hits, and you can start going to. I never went to none of my proms because I knew I wouldn't have a dress to go. So I didn't even go to my mom and dad and say, hey, is it possible for me to get a dress to go? Because I knew the answer was going to be no. So I didn't go to none of my proms. I stayed home.
I wish we had been friends back then, Kathy, because I would have gone to prom with you. I would have made damn sure you would have gone, and we would have had a freaking blast. We should have our own damn prom.
We should.
We should.
I went stag to my senior prom. I didn't have a date, and it was horrible. I hated. I regret it now.
Okay, Misty, I just want to say I read your comment and I got tears in my eyes because I love you, because you are so friggin' right, Misty, and I don't understand it. So her comment says, as many women in the trucking industry are bullied mostly by women drivers, but we don't talk about it. You are so correct. I was just talking to Jessica about this just the other day, and I don't understand why we are so awful to each other. That's my biggest thing. Hold on just a second. This guy's gonna hit my truck. There he goes. Okay. he's trying to back in, and he's doing a really bad job.
No.
Yeah. Oh no. Don't do it, dude. You're good. Yeah, You're not gonna make it. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
You're
I've been through
okay.
that with Ron.
Don't hit that preacher.
No,
I had to blow the air horn one time when I was with Chris. He was in the truck stop getting us drinks and stuff, and I was out there blowing the horn. I'm like, no, don't hit him, please don't hit him.
Thank you. Larry's going out there to help this guy because he damn near hit our truck again.
Thank you, Larry. Larry to the rescue.
I think he's a new driver. Okay, so Cassandra said, I have one that is still in public school because of autism, and so far no issues yet the school my kids homeschool, and they do prom. Oh, they do prom. That's awesome. Aww.
That's awesome, Cassandra. Yeah, I wish I could go back and do my proms all over. Chris has told me he's going to his. And of course, I think there was one or two. He's had a date, and the girl, as soon as they got there, he went out and bought the corsage and everything. As soon as they get there, they dump him like a hot potato. And and then just tell him, I just used you to get here.
Oh my God.
And
we need to have an adult prom. We just
yes,
have our
please.
husbands. Yes, I think we need to do it this summer. We just all get together. We'll have an adult prom, lots of drinking.
Oh, that works for me. Let's do it.
Make the guys get us some corsages.
That would be awesome.
It would.
I know we're getting ready to go, but I do want to say something very seriously. Number one, if you ever have questions or you hear rumors about any of us, but especially Larry and I, please have the courage to come talk to us. We have been so open with our lives and everything that we will share anything with you. So if you have questions, come talk to us. But number two, my most important thing, and I have said this forever and a day, I want all of my women, especially my women, to love themselves. It's the hardest thing for us to do. Kathy is just beginning this process. When I first met Kathy, she's just beginning this process. She's starting to love herself. It is the most important thing. We as women need to lift each other up and stop putting ourselves down, because we're all beautiful one reason or another, every one of us. And I will be your biggest cheerleader and your biggest supporter. Don't believe the negativity. Don't believe the naysaying. If you have questions, come talk to me directly, because I am the most positive person you will ever meet, and I will be your biggest cheerleader. And I can guarantee right now that Kathy, Catherine, and Sheila, Cassandra, and Jessica, and Brandy Ray are exactly the same. Us divas care about you, and that is the most important thing. We need to lift each other up and stop tearing each other down, especially our children.
Cassandra's daughter Grace is just wonderful.
Yes. She said Grace, my youngest, says everyone.
That is so
Oh, thank you.
Sandra.
Well, get out my way if I get out. Can I take a picture of your truck?
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Sorry, we get that a lot. That's like the third time today.
So, stop. You're all
Well,
wet.
you do have a beautiful truck.
So everybody can read my shirt. It says, "Be kind. Just be nice.
Yes.
Exactly.
Just be nice."
Good evening, Dawn Needham. I miss you. I haven't seen you in so
If you
long.
ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing else.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just remember, you guys, if you're having a bad day, reach out to somebody. We have a rule in the Divas group. If you're having a bad day, you need somebody to talk to you about whatever. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment in this group. Just simply put the word diva in there. You don't have to put anything else. Just put the word diva. Somebody will reach out to you, because that's your way of saying, hey, I need somebody to talk to. We want to make sure that everybody has that, because we all have those bad days. We all have those days where, hey, I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to lift me up. So please use that to your advantage. Don't ever go through things alone. Let us be there for you. And remember, just start lifting each other up. Positivity. This world could use a lot more positivity. Is there any other thing we need to mention tonight, ladies, before we get ready to close it?
No, I don't think
Nope.
so.
No.
All right. We don't know what our topic next week is yet, because we still got to talk with Jessica and Cassandra, but we'll let you guys know on Monday. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Kathy, Catherine, and Sheila, for being here with us. Thank you guys for all joining us. Please be sure to like and share our videos, because it does help. And we appreciate you guys all. And we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.